It's really just a delight to have everybody here for kicking off the 33 years of this symposium. Before we begin, I'd like to recognize our incoming county judge, Jerry Garza. I understand we have the entire faculty, our executive faculty of Laredo College here. Let's give them a big round of applause. Our honorees, TAMIU, let's give them a big round of applause. And Beatrice, well, I hope that we all understand and we all appreciate that North America trade is booming here in Laredo, and there's no better place to have a conversation about trade than here. Every day, the forces reshaping the North American economy come together here on our doorstep. Trade, manufacturing, technology, infrastructure, energy, and workforce. And now, with the decision to review USMCA annually, we have increasingly institutionalized uncertainty. That is exactly why Pathways to Trade matters. For 33 years, this symposium has brought together people who don't just talk about international commerce, they make it happen. And I don't think there's ever been a more important time for that conversation. This year's theme says it perfectly: connecting the Americas, infrastructure, industry, innovation. Laredo is where those forces intersect. We are truly at the crossroads of trade and transformation. I'd like to recognize Alma Acevedo and Yurio Varazzi, who chair our Pathways to Trade Committee and have invested an extraordinary amount of time and energy in building this year's program. They will go into more detail, but to our sponsors, our partners, our trade ambassador honorees, the LEDC board and staff, we thank you all. And especially to our friends in the media, thank you for being here and helping us to illuminate the pathways to trade. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our chairman, Cliff Killam. Most people know Cliff, but I'd like to just say a few words about him. A native of Laredo, Texas, with deep family roots in South Texas, and a lifelong commitment to the region's growth and prosperity. As president and CEO of Killam Development, he leads a fourth-generation family enterprise that has helped shape the economic landscape of South Texas for more than a century, developing and investing in thousands of acres and millions of square feet of industrial and commercial property. A forward-thinking leader in trade, industrial development, and economic growth, Cliff has championed initiatives that strengthens Laredo's infrastructure, attract investment, support entrepreneurship, and create lifelong economic opportunity. He has played a key role in transformative projects, including the Coves, the Coves TERS, our tax increment reinvestment zone, and the ongoing revitalization of downtown Laredo, which also has a TERS, while investing in workforce and education throughout South Texas. Today, as chairman of the board of the Laredo Economic Development Corporation, Cliff works alongside public and private sector leaders to strengthen Laredo's position in international trade and advance a vision for Laredo as a globally competitive economic hub. He is past chairman of the Laredo Chamber of Commerce, president of the United Day School Board of Directors, serves on the Texas Community Bank Board of Directors, and also serves on the Clear Choice Board and remains engaged in civic and charitable organizations throughout South Texas. Please help me welcome, well, before I say that, I just want to say one more thing. We all know that on an annual basis, Cliff brings the Don Quixote collection to Laredo. Missed it last year, but I'm really looking forward to actually seeing it this year. A big fan of Cervantes and Don Quixote. As we know, the theme from the musical was the impossible dream. You know, Laredo has lots of dreams, but thanks to people like Cliff, those dreams are not impossible. They become possible through our collective hard work and dedication, and I want to thank him for his leadership, Mr. Cliff Kelly.
Thank you, Dana, for those kind words for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I'm pleased to welcome everyone to announce the 33rd Annual Pathways for Trade Symposium taking place September 22nd to 24th in Laredo, Texas. On behalf of the Laredo Economic Development Corporation, I want to welcome our special guests, business and community leaders, our partners, and members of the media who are here to help share this great event with the community. I also want to thank our key sponsors who continue to invest in our community. Texas Community Bank, IBC Bank, Clear Choice Healthcare System, and Faro Wealth. Additionally, I'd like to recognize Krause Development, TAMIU, Arco Murray, Laredo College, Laredo Heat, Medina Electric Cooperative, Driscoll Children's Hospital, Killam Development, Terracon, and CoStep. So thank you all so much for your support. We could not host this amazing event without you all. And thank you for everything you do and for believing in the LEDC mission and our community. We are also grateful to our nationally recognized keynote speakers and panelists who will bring their experience and perspective to this year's program. We have an incredible lineup. Thank you to the LEDC staff for their coordination and planning this amazing program, as well as to Alma Muriel. Thank you so much. For 33 years, Pathway for Trades has been one of LEDC's premier annual events. It brings together the people and experts who make our economy strong and who are committed to fostering economic growth. And I think this year's theme, Connecting the Americas, Infrastructure, Industry, and Innovation, give us a very timely framework for that conversation. There's a tremendous amount of attention right now on North American supply chains, nearshoring manufacturing, infrastructure, and the changing movement of goods across our continent and the world. And Laredo is right in the middle of the conversation. I believe we need to think about Laredo beyond simply being a major inland port in one of the busiest trade crossings in the country. Laredo is not just a gateway. Laredo is a global metro hub that serves as an ecosystem where talent and technology and transportation are headquartered and help connect American industry and consumers to the world, a place where economic opportunity is abundant and thriving. That means we have to continue thinking about what comes next. Should we share the best kept secret and competitive advantage about distribution in the United States? How do we keep up with the explosive growth we anticipate over the next decade? Are we getting the adequate funding for infrastructure to keep up with this future growth? And perhaps most importantly, we are creating a forum for the most important stakeholders who understand the strategic importance of the Port of Laredo, who invest in Laredo and across nations, who help move and facilitate the modern economy, advancing North America through trade partnerships, commerce, and friendship. That's an important part of the LEDC's role. As chairman, my vision is for Laredo and Webb County to be recognized as a global brand and hub, where the ecosystem of talent, technology, and transportation are headquartered. We are a critical economic center connecting the Americas. This year is also an important milestone for the LEDC as we celebrate 60 years of economic development leadership in Laredo and Webb County. 60 years represents a legacy of people who had the vision to invest in Laredo and Webb County and to challenge us to think and act now about what the next 6 decades will look like and be like. Pathways for Trade is one of the places where we have these conversations about what is next. The amazing leaders, experts, and panelists you'll hear from will discuss their views from the front lines, what types of issues and ideas they discuss with their clients, suppliers, and global partners. They'll dig into the current challenges and solutions. Building a work-ready workforce, rail and infrastructure, industrial investments, nearshoring, location decisions, regional collaboration, business, policy, and much more. We'll hear about what trends to anticipate, infrastructure and industries will be necessary to support, how innovation is driving the competitive landscape in a changing global economy, as well as some issues on healthcare. So a lot of great insights will be covered, and I encourage everyone to participate in Pathways this year, not just as an event to attend, but as a platform to learn and help shape the future of our region and our own lines of work. In just a moment, we'll hear about announcing this year's 2026 trade ambassadors. They've hinted towards that, and I thank them for their leadership and contributions to trade and economic development for our region. To our sponsors, speakers, partners, elected officials, business leaders, and community organizations, thank you for continuing to believe and invest your money and your time. It's important. These conversations matter. Laredo and Webb County matter. This is the epicenter of movement and global connection. Thank you again for being here. I look forward to seeing everyone at the event. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Cliff. I think that gives everybody a pretty good world trade bridge to the important topics of the day, because Pathways is ultimately about understanding what is changing, but also what we're going to do with it and about it. We sometimes describe Laredo as a border city. Increasingly, I think that description is too small. As America's top trade port, Laredo sits at the center of the North American supply chain, even as that supply chain is being reimagined. Consider just a few numbers. Trade through the Laredo corridor is roughly $354 billion a year. Nearly 6 million commercial trucks cross here annually, and Laredo handles approximately 41% of U.S.-Mexico land trade. But here's the bigger story. According to Ken Roberts in World City, in 2025, Mexico became America's #1 trading partner, #1 export market, and the #1 source of imports, all at the same time. That hadn't happened in nearly 20 years. So North American economic integration isn't theoretical, it's physical. It's being proven every day right here in Laredo. And TAMIU's Dr. Daniel Covarrubias' latest research tells us something else. Since 2018, the inflation-adjusted value of the goods moving through Port Laredo increased by more than 50% per kilogram. Think about that. We're not just moving more goods, we're moving more value, machinery, electronics, advanced technology, manufacturing input, the building blocks of the future North American economy. All of this is happening while businesses navigate tariffs, AI, technology, changing supply chain, and the evolving relationship with USMCA. There's plenty of uncertainty, but uncertainty doesn't mean inactivity. Capital is moving, supply chains are moving, manufacturing is moving, technology is moving, and companies are making decisions today about where the next generation of the North American economy will be built. That's why there's never been a more important time for Pathways for Trade. Our job isn't simply to react to change, it's to understand, anticipate, and capitalize on it. For decades, Laredo became indispensable because products moved through us. Now our opportunity is to capture more of the value surrounding those products, to become a place where goods are increasingly made, assembled, finished, distributed, serviced, and managed. That's how Laredo moves from gateway to growth engine, and that's why the conversation about the future of North American trade belongs right here at the crossroads of trade and transformation. And now we're going to give you a preview of Pathways for Trade, which takes place here September 22nd through 24th, bringing together the leaders from government, manufacturing, logistics, rail, customs, workforce, international business, and economic development. And nobody better to tell you about that than our committee chairs, Alma Acevedo and co-chair Uriel Varazzi.
Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to use my outdoor voice today, so hopefully it projects well. Our CEO, David, and our chairman, Cliff, did a great job introducing the symposium and the reasons why we do this, as well as an overview, so I'll just quickly go through that. The Pathways for Trade started as a logistics and manufacturing symposium because at the time, the Logistics and Manufacturing Association, which represented the maquilas in Laredo, was mid-90s, early 90s, gotta do my math, but the idea that there was a lot of rumors circulating in it. The purpose of the event was to dispel myths of pollution and bad worker practices and things like that. So now it's evolved into what it is today. And to me, from my perspective, as a small business owner here in Laredo, it's an opportunity for us to share what makes Laredo the successful port that it is. But also, I think it's also an opportunity to see what the rest of the world is doing and how we could take some of those best practices and put our local twist on it and really help elevate our community. And that's what I'd like to see, and that's why I love the participation of all you and your organizations in this year's event. With that, the theme, again, is connecting the Americas, infrastructure, industry, and innovation. And if you look at any globe or any map, Laredo can technically, without using the map, can be considered the center point of the Western Hemisphere. And in the Nuevo Laredo side, we are the #1 port for the Americas and Latin America. And so what we'd like to see here is the connection, not just in the traditional North American sense, but what else happens throughout the rest of the hemisphere and how Laredo plays a role in that. And so, infrastructure is, of course, the key factor in making sure that we can move the goods that we all consume, not here in the United States, but just throughout the Western Hemisphere. In industry and innovation, we can't do this without those things either. I'd like to bring up Uriel Varazzi, my co-chair, to go over the review of the panels and the keynotes. So thank you.
Thank you, Alma, Cliff, David. I'll be reviewing I won't go deep into detail on the keynotes, but I will just kind of give a couple of highlights. So we have our luncheon keynote for the opening day will be Amanda Labs, our Chief Product Officer for Medline. We have Diane Sabatino as the Executive Assistant Commissioner for the Office of Field Operations for US CBP. And then for the Night of Trade Ambassador Dinner is Lenny Feldman, Managing Partner of Sandler, Travis, and Rosenberg. On the second day of the conference, we'll have Ilvin Mendoza, Head of Intelligence and Territorial Analysis for the Ministry of Finance and Economy of the Dominican Republic. And closing it off will be William Puy Martinez, CEO and founder of Green Space e-mobility. So like they mentioned, we have a lot of panels that speak about a work-ready, career readiness for our students, a new global workforce, state of commercial real estate that will be presented by Carlo Molano. Another panel is Gateway for Growth, speaking about the Gateway Rail project in North Laredo. There will be a CBP presentation. There's a nearshoring panel that will include some of our partners from the nearshoring company and Canada Soft Landing from San Luis Potosí, and North America at a Crossroads that will talk more about international trade between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. So it's a very exciting program. Like Alma mentioned, there's still a lot of available sponsorships that, from different levels that you can see on our website. Level that I think began at $750, going up to
12,000.
12,000, I think is the highest one available now. And we invite everybody to participate because the LEDC is helping grow Laredo, and it affects every single business that is here. So, for example, with my experience, I started in trucking a little bit over 20 years ago, and I've seen the border change in those 20 years. Now I work renting construction equipment, and nothing affects our business more than the growth of Laredo. So any growth, it touches every single one of our businesses, every single one of the lives here in Laredo, and it's important to really support this organization. So with that, I would also officially like to recognize our Night of Trade ambassadors. And this year, we have 2 Night of Trade ambassadors that we will be recognizing. And it is Laredo College, the Global Logistics Center. Please give a round of applause for them. And we're also recognizing TAMIU Center for the Study of Western Hemispheric Trade. Just quickly to speak a little bit about both of them, the Laredo College Global Logistics Center was established in the spring of 2023, and it was created to strengthen and expand education and workforce training in logistics and international trade. The center provides a dedicated structure for program development, industry collaboration, and student preparation, reflecting the growing importance of Laredo as a hub for international trade and transportation. Its mission is to ensure students graduate with the knowledge, practical skills, and confidence needed to contribute to the workforce and support the continued growth of Laredo's global trade economy. So once again, a round for Laredo College. And the TAMIU Center for the Study of Western Hemispheric Trade connects scholarship, commerce, and community. International trade is not an abstraction in Laredo. It drives South Texas economy, connects communities and markets across borders, and places TAMIU at the center of consequential commercial relationships across the Western Hemisphere. From North America's trade gateway, TAMIU offers a unique vantage point for studying international commerce, supply chains, and economic development. But the center does more than study trade from the border. It brings the people shaping it into the same room, transforming TAMIU's location into intellectual research, student opportunity, and public impact while strengthening Laredo and South Texas as a center for international trade and for scholarship and dialogue. So once again, congratulations to TAMIU. I know we'll give you a few more remarks.
At this point, I'd like to mention, we already mentioned some of the sponsorship opportunities that range from $750, targeting individual enthusiasts of international trade, and $12,000, which is our highest available level right now for keynote speakers. But also I wanted to touch base a little bit on some of the organizations that were able to collaborate and partner with Laredo Economic Development Corporation for this event. The World Affairs Council of Laredo provided this following quote. The World Affairs Council Laredo connects our community's priorities and to global ideas, leaders, and opportunities. Our partnership with LEDC, Pathways for Trade Symposium, brings that mission to life, connecting education, industry, and international voices to position Laredo as a place where the Americas come together to learn, innovate, and prosper. And the World Affairs Council of Laredo is a fairly new World Affairs Council. It's one of very few that are attached to a university, in this case, Texas A&M International, but it's also one of 80 across the United States. So its importance here in Laredo is significant, and we're very proud to have the opportunity to work with them on this event. I'd also like to thank the National Custom Brokers and Forwarders Association of America. They were instrumental in putting together the program with our help, and our chairman, the chairman of the National Custom Brokers Association, which is a local broker by the name of J.D. Gonzalez. So we appreciate his participation in this as well. The Laredo Motor Carriers Association and Expo Potosi, based out of San Luis Potosí, are all instrumental, along with some of our, also our Sorry. Our committee, which includes Juan Carlos from Terracon and Priscilla Johnson from LMCA, as well as Maribel from Mile 1 and Cesar from Mile 1 as well. So thank you guys very much. At this point, I would just like to invite you guys to again attend, share if anybody you know might be interested in traveling down here. The website is www.pathwaysfortrade.com. It has all the information related to this year's event and the last 5 years prior. And we are open for questions if anybody has anything they'd like to ask. Thank you. We did that great of a job.
So just one more thing, I'd like to thank the committee members that are here, but also very importantly, I wanted to thank the staff for the LEDC for all the work that they do in the background for helping us get this organized and putting it together for us. So I don't know if David, Cliff, you would like to close us out for the day? Thank you.
This concludes our press conference. Thank you all for joining us today. And once again, thank you to our sponsors, Texas Community Bank, IBC Bank, Clear Choice, Healthcare Systems, Faro Wealth, Kraus Development, TAMIU, Arco Murray, Laredo College, Laredo Heat, Medina Electric Cooperative, Driscoll Children's Hospital, Killam Development, Terracon, and COSTIP. Thank you all. Thank you to the speakers, panelists, partners, community leaders, and members of the media for helping us to share the vision for this year's Pathway for Trade. This event is possible because of all the people and organizations who believe in Laredo and Webb County's future. We look forward to bringing everyone together in the 33rd Annual Pathways for Trade Symposium and continuing the important work of strengthening Laredo's role in trade, infrastructure, and innovation. Thank you again.